for the critique. I know someone asked, why do I think Lucio's the strongest, one of the strongest supports? And that's because of logistics. Lucio speeds this up. And because it's lower on the tree, or on my pyramid, oops, I inherently think it's stronger. This also is, it's also why when Blizzard nerfed Ana's ult, why they nerfed it here. Right? What do they remove? They removed the speed from Ana's ult. What everyone wanted them to do was to lower the percentage, but to lower the percentage is just a mechanical change. It doesn't really change the skill drastically. To remove the speed took out this lower level that provided such an advantage. It's also why Lucio's really good, and it's also why Mei is really good. Right? Mei and Lucio, they both attack at a logistical level. Mei just completely stops you. The Sociopath, you bring up Widow Alt and Hanzo Sight Arrow. Those are incredibly strong. That's why Widow's Alt, when people first see it, they're like, it's not that strong. And then they start seeing how good it is. It's quite amazing. Seeing where people are is insane. It's sight and information's key. From good information, you can come up with a good plan on where to go, and then how to get there. But yeah, this entire concept is built around when I started playing Quake 2 back in the day, and my mechanical skill was, less than good. I was pretty shit compared to the other people. Like, obviously, it was 98. I was 13 years old. I never played a first-person shooter before. So how did I win against people who were mechanically more superior than me? Most people would have given up, right? That's what the Overwatch community says right now. Right? Everyone's so focused on skill. The truth is you can overcome skill by having correct position. If I position myself correctly, you have to be quite skilled to get out of it. Maybe twice as skilled as me to get out of it. That doesn't mean you can't get out of it. Skill's a fucking bitch. You can get... There's some really good people I've met in my life, and they'll kick your ass. They can get out of many situations from skill alone. But that doesn't mean you should not use position to your advantage. Right? If we look on a scale of 1 to 10, and if someone's a 5, and we'll say position gives them... This is really bad, but like, a boost of like double my skill. Like, I've reduced my hitbox in half. Now what are you going to do? And we'll say, oh, it's a 10 now. That's really hard. Maybe they're going up against a guy with, 9 skill. That's how you have to play against someone mechanically superior to you. You can't just give up, roll over and fucking die. You have to use your position to your advantage. Now, that also means that a skilled player at 9 can do the same goddamn thing and become fucking great, right? And you can start dominating people. And this is actually a... If you watch the best people in the world play a game or do anything, people are going to watch at their skill, but the truth is you should really look at their positioning. That's what's giving them such a really, really strong of an edge. If everyone's like, why the fuck can't I kill this guy? Positioning. It's not because like he's dodging your shit. He could be dodging your shit, but his position is making it easier for him. What up, chillin'? Just chillin'? What's going on here? I just got done critiquing a video. And I'm going over just a bit of my theory on how to get better. It's quite simple. Just see what... Right? Information is what you get from the game. Sight and sound. We have no other ways of interacting with the game. Right? Unless you get some crazy-ass VR shit going. That's all you got. With sight and sound, see what they got, come up with a plan. Usually a plan is going to be, I need to be X, Y, or Z. You need to be somewhere. Logistics is how you get to point X, Y, or Z. Whether that's with a May ability, like, I'll just pull up a, let me pull up a different picture. If we look at Anubis, when a Reinhardt's here, and they got the Reinhardt here, right, the enemy Reinhardt, this is usually the information gathering spot. Note where their team is positioned at, and note what classes they're running. This is the information part. They're going to do the same to you. Now, let's say your team decides to go left, for whatever reason. Like, you can go left or right or main. Let's say you decide left. Now, let's say... This is why I talk in generalities. You can put a May wall here, right? That's one way to get here. You could use a Reinhardt shield. You could Lucio speed boost through it, right? Zoom, right through. But this phase is your logistics. Your positioning is you want to control this position. Why? Because from this position, it makes it really, really easy to take this point. So your logistics is the actual movement to get to here, and also the thought process of getting there. Like, we're going to use a Lucio to get in through this choke point. That's our first danger spot. And then from there, we're going to, you know, edge in with a Reinhardt and use some other, you know, tactics to take this point. You can use a May here. Maybe you want to May wall here. Whoever has the tanks that are forward, you kill them. Maybe that's part of it. But that's your logistics. This would be your position. This would be your action, right? The actual killing of the enemy. Now, this triangle, this whole thing, works at a micro and macro level. So it can be as small as what we discussed here, where you have the information stage, logistics, to your position, the action. It can be as small as, here's your information phase, here's your logistics, here's your position. This will be your next action, right? And then from here, you'll do it again. Here's your information, trying to get, like, see where things are at, going where. I'm going to get here now. Action will be here. And then you keep on redoing it over and over and over. It can even go smaller than this. It can go as tight. Let's say a Widow is up here, and a Diva encroaches on her, right? There's a Diva here. The Diva steps left. That's the information for the Widow. The Widow now aims at this point. And then the actual execution is just pressing the button. Well, the positioning would be either you want to go left to go with her to make it easier, or you go right to maybe dodge a shot. Right? Make it harder for her to hit you. Then you aim at her and shoot her. Right? This can work at a micro and macro level. At the same time, it can be as big as, what I haven't seen any teams do yet, is I'm going to run a very specific 2 classes. Even if they work or not. I'm going to take this point. If we take this point, we're going to hope that the enemy runs 2 classes to counter this. After we take this point, we're going to switch those 2 classes to take advantage of this switch that we believe is coming, and then we're going to push. Right? That is as big as it gets. Right? The position would be taking this point. The action would be switching your class and attacking. The logistics would be this whole shebang. So it gets as big as small as it is. Yeah, it's just a way of information gathering and looking at a problem. There's nothing fancy about it. It's just how you do it. Yep. So saddens me that Fallen isn't here, but I'll upload it on YouTube, and if he has any questions, I'll talk to him there. Now, for everyone for everyone here, sorry. Are there any questions? If anyone has any questions, I can answer them now. If not, then hey. Doesn't look like anything. So yeah. Lesson seemed very straightforward. Yeah, it really was. How many push-ups can I do? Like at once? Have I ever considered doing map-by-map tactics guide? Yes. Maybe I could do like 100 push-ups at one time. I think I could do 100. Yeah, I would like to get into analysis, and I really need... My next plan is probably to talk about a professional game. I gotta find a good one to do, and I would do that. Bro, shredded? No, I'm just fit. I'm not shredded. I am not, no, trust me by any means. I'm not Junkrat, guys. I probably have the build of Junkrat, except I'm 5'10 instead of like 6'3. And I definitely don't have six-packs. A six-pack of abs, man. Fucking A. I like... Dude, my dinner today was fucking ice cream, and I had like a quart of Haagen-Dazs coffee-flavored ice cream yesterday. Like, my diet is shit. There's no way I can't... There's just no way I can get rid of my belly. I love it. Well, wonky. Listen. If you... Depending on what dating site you find me at, I may be 6 foot. May or may not be. But yeah, if anyone has if there's a really good pro game that was really close and people want analyzed, then throw it my way. I'll look at it. I really need to get a couple professional games under my belt. And yeah, I'll post my YouTube. Here's my YouTube. I post all my reviews there, and when you talk about tactics, who was it that asked about tactics? Matt Bima. There is, I talk about, it's called King's Row. Shit, what was it called? One of my first videos. Overwatch Fundamentals with King's Row Defense Discussion. It's a long video, it's an hour and 20 minutes, but I go over a lot of shit. And I really go into in-depth on King's Row. What do you say to people who think Junkrat isn't a viable pick? Like if you just wanted like a fucking witty answer for me to be like, look at this quip, eat shit guy, would be like, Junkrat works, yours doesn't. Don't confuse the two. The answer is that as Junkrat, I play him too much. I'll be the first one to admit it. I play Junkrat in some really shitty situations to play a Junkrat. But I play him there because I have to learn how to deal with that situation as a Junkrat. Overwatch has an epidemic right now where when a hero is bad in a situation, everyone just runs from it. They don't learn how to get better with that hero in that situation. If you want to get good, you want to be a professional, you have to learn to mitigate your weakness more than leverage your strength. Yeah, there's nothing else to it. You have to learn to mitigate your weaknesses over everything. And that's what I do as Junkrat. The reason why I'm a good Junkrat is because I just focus on surviving, which allows me to shoot twice as much as the next Junkrat. Right? And just because I have twice the amount of time to shoot gives me the twice amount of time to hit. Also twice the amount to miss, right? Like, It fucking sucks, but at least I get a chance to shoot someone, right? It's just because of that. There's nothing else. I don't do anything magical, guys. I hate to break it to you, top 500, it's not some fucking magic place. It's just people with good fundamentals, hopefully. Even if they don't know it or not. Time alive is a factor for damage output. Yeah. Yeah. But Junkrat does have some really strong strengths. He has insane burst, right? 600 damage in 3 seconds. If you trap mine someone, that's 800 damage in 3 seconds. If you get, like, the perfect storm, where you trap mine someone, and both of your trap and mine are cooldown, and you trap and mine them again, and then put all 3 shots into them, which would probably take 4.5 seconds or so, you would do 1,000 damage. Not counting the splash damage. It's really strong. Junkrat also has really high mobility. If you can land your shots, he's devastating. He's good at ripping apart shields, and a lot of maps have a lot of choke points that people don't recognize. If you recognize the choke points, I think you'd see it. He's more viable than you really think. Chro, you said you were planning to play Mei for next comp season. Any reasons why her playstyle interests you? Remote mine is the most versatile skill in the game, and that's one of the reasons why I love Junkrat. It gives him his mobility, it gives him his finisher, it gives him a lot of options. Mei's Wall is the second most versatile thing in the game. I love Mei's Wall, I love her skill set. Bro, can you say one more time how you deal 1,000 damage as Junkrat? If you have a trap and a mine out, and let's say a Winston hits it, ulting. He takes 200 damage, right? 80 from trap, 120 from mine. You shoot, let's say you put 3 or 4 shots into him. Junkrat fires every 0.6 seconds for 3 seconds, dealing a total of 600 damage. You'll notice that trap lasts for 3 seconds. So if you trap someone, shoot them 3 times, throw down another trap, another mine, and then finish off your other 2 shots, it's going to take about 4 to 5 seconds. And with double mine, double trap is 400 damage, and then your entire clip is 600. That's like the fucking... You're never going to get it, but that's what's theoretically possible. What's very possible is someone hits your trap, you use your mine, you put 6 shots into them because they're trapped for 3 seconds. It takes 3 seconds for you to unload 5 shots. 800 damage, right? That's easy. Junkrat is so hard to play in my opinion. How should I get better with him? Play defensively. So Junkrat is a long-range class. So here's what makes Junkrat special. You have a Reinhardt shield. You have a Reinhardt shield, right? You probably have 2 supports that are sitting in back. 2 supports sitting in back. Second tank, probably around here, right? And then you got the DPS. Wherever. Most DPS can't get to the supports easily. Why? Because 1, fall off damage. From here, they do reduced damage. Second reason why, they don't have a clear line of sight. Reinhardt shield's in the way. Maybe there's a wall. The map design is, you know, helping them out. Like, maybe there's just a wall right here. Right? Let's say this is a wall. But what does Junkrat do? 1, Junkrat doesn't have fall-off damage. He does as much damage long range as he does everywhere. Secondly, Reinhardt's shield, he goes above the shield to get to the supports. Junkrat is the only character in the game that is able to attack the supports from your own support. So you can attack the enemy backline from your own backline. What does this do? It bolsters the supports. I now have a third person I can put back here with the supports to keep them safe. While at the same time, if my team just so happens to engage their backline, I can support them from way back here. This is why you see soldiers really common with 3 tanks. The 3 tank meta is tank, 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 Ana, sometimes Lucio, sometimes Zenyatta. I like Zenyatta better. We'll just say Z for Zenyatta. And Soldier. And what happens is this team of 6 has to bridge all this distance to get to their, like, to the supports and the Soldier. The Soldier also bolsters the support's defense. What's also in here? A Roadhog. There's always a fucking Roadhog. That's supposed to be an R. So if you do manage to get here, let's see, you're blue. If you do manage to get here, even if you could threaten the supports, the Roadhog will take you back. All while you have a Zarya and Reinhardt defending the first part. And they're constantly getting healed because this long-range comp can all heal them from range. This is an insanely good composition. This is why 3-2-1 is an insanely strong tactic, even to this day, even after the Ana nerfs. 3-2-1 is really, really strong, guys. It's fundamentally superior to most tactics. How do you beat this? You flank. Right? You have to push yourself with position, because action. Because here's the deal. The enemy has superior positioning, and you're going to have to be insanely skilled to go up against 6 people after you've dived past 3 tanks. Oh, I gotta sneeze. What's it? Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. I had a sneeze. Yeah. So with their superior positioning of these 3 long-range classes back here, with 3 tanks in front, your action, like your skill has to be immense, right? You have to do some crazy-ass shit if you want to skill your way around this. What's an easier way to do it? If you, as a team, you know, slowly push this way, and flank towards the back lines, what's going to happen is the back line's going to try to switch to the front line, and then all of a sudden you have the reverse situation, right? Now, these are the tanks, right? The tanks are going to push up and try to get you here. What I'm thinking of is Watch Point Gibraltar. But you push them off the high ground here, and now they're in a fundamentally not as superior position. It's rough. You have to use position to overcome position, or you have to abuse the respawn advantage, which I talk about in that double jump video. I love playing Junk on Anubis Point 2. In particular, of setting up behind the Arc Bridge, attacking Widow. Yep. How do you feel about Mei on attack? Mei can be useful in any situation as long as you're using the wall to split the team in half. That's what she's good at. You're streaming for 24 hours? Yeah, tomorrow. Chro is like the John Madden of Overwatch. No! I'm strategic. I'm not the John Madden. Fucking A. That's insulting. I'm not like, brr, get more points than this guy. More points. If you get a 2 and he gets a 1, you'll win the game. Rah! That's John Madden. But yeah, I go, you know what? I'll just link it. I'll show, this is, to date, probably my best tactical video. And now I ramble. Alright, guys, as you fucking noticed, I ramble. I ramble like a motherfucker. There's the video. It's an hour and a half. If you want to watch it, watch it. It's going to take you some time. What will you do? Well, I do review vids tomorrow. I will review some videos tomorrow if I get them, but it's going to be a lot of playing. Especially when I start getting tired, I'm just going to shut the fuck up and start playing Overwatch, and I'm not going to be responsible for my SR. Of course, Kasachu. Yeah, stop by any time. If you got any questions, just message me on Twitch. If you want to go into detail, like, I'm more than happy to help you guys. My goal, I'll level with everyone. As you can tell, I'm using the fact that I'm a Junkrat only one trick. I get attention with it. I'm using this to leverage my analytical knowledge for the entire game. And from there, from analysis, from getting this exposure, I'm going to, try to break out into Overwatch as an analyst. How would you go about submitting a video? Throw it up on YouTube and then just throw it my way on Twitch. I'll give it a look over. If it's a normal video, then I'll review it. What time does my stream start tomorrow? It will start 5 hours ago. Let's say 5 hours ago. Use May a lot. I know you're a good Junkrat guy, but do you know of any good videos on Lucio? No. But I'll just say this. I think Lucio right now, because of DSP Stanky, is played completely wrong. Lucios are the cockiest motherfuckers in the world. Straight up. They dance around like they're unhittable. And they're hard to hit, but guys, people are going to get better, and people are going to start to hit them. And when that happens, all of these fucking tips and trick videos that you're watching are going to be worth shit. Right? They're going to be... It's just a trick right now. People will get better, and they're going to fucking shoot you in the face. Lucio is about exploiting logistics. This is what makes Lucio strong. This right here, his speed boost. Also his ability to heal while still inflicting some type of damage. But boop, right? His boop, boop, is a logistical attack. His speed boost is a logistical attack. My honest opinion for Lucios to get really good is the same thing I would say for a Junkrat to get really good. Is this. Give me fucking Anubis. No, you know what? Give me King's Row. I really need a King of the Hill map. But let's say this. You know pretty damn well that the attacking team wants to get here. You know pretty damn well the defensive team to get like right here. Now you have to see how each team was going to do that. And maybe there'll be a little conflict right here. Do a Z for conflict. You'll have to see how this team want to do this. The trick is when you are here, you have to know that the team is here. And because your team wants to get here, you need to secure this position for this team. So what you need to do is you need to attack here. Right? You have to attack them en route. Teams are weakest during the logistical phase. It's incredibly difficult to stay in formation while moving. If you want to kill someone, hit them in the logistical phase. This is what I do as Junkrat. When I see supports back here and tanks here, I'm like, alright, I know the supports want to move up probably. They want to try to get and help them. So I attack them en route. Nope, not allowed to do that one more. Lucio has to see this. At this point, he has to go, look, guys, we're going to get here later than they're going to get here. We have to get there first, and he has to speed boost. Maybe he has to speed boost and then boop everyone back just like a second, even though it seems really dangerous, so that his team can actually get to here and take this point. So for Junkrat, what I tell people, and this is any class, especially May, if a team wants to get to point A, and your team also wants to get to point A, either help your team here, or damage their team here. When your team's en route to A or when their team's en route to A. Once they're set up here, it's tough to dislodge them. But what do you value her freezing ability? Her freezing abilities, I see May's freezing ability as a timer. You have about 2 to 3 seconds to kill May, or you die. That's what I see her as. Do you know exactly where your primary fire will hit as Junkrat? You bet your goddamn ass I will. If you don't think when I'm here, here's King's Row secret, guys. When I play King's Row, this is what I do. I follow this outside edge. Why? Because I have no fall off. Fall off equals 0. I stay at the farthest distance I'm allowed to do my job. If you think my shots that go right here past this, that they go right past this tree, right past this wall, into this sweet ass spot right here, if you don't think I've calculated that, because their supports are right here and right here, because this gives them the correct line of sight to help the Reinhardt that's right here, you're fucking fooling yourself. If you guys really think I'm just spamming, you're fucking nuts. I will crush the supports every single time. And as they're getting hit with this, I start moving over here. I start hitting this line, and then I start hitting this line. Why? Once I hit here, they're going to fall back. Reinhardt's going to be here like this. What does this do with their supports? Pushes them back a little bit farther because they want to be at the farthest distance they can do their job while still maintaining line of sight. Look where I hit. It hits them still. What happens when my team pushes them back even more because their supports are getting hit as well? They fall back even farther. Guess what? I have made the map into a choke point, right? How? This is a lane. I have used the map position to my advantage. I've made a choke point where no one else knows there's a choke point, and I can easily hit them with Junkrat. This is why my accuracy is good with Junkrat, because I aim at position, not heroes. My entire idea behind Junkrat is taking the position that they own here, and I start whittling it down. I start cutting it, 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 cutting it. And as soon as they're stuck with this little fucking area, what do? I just make it rain on this fucking area. I do this on every single fucking map, people. Every single map. And everyone's like, you get lucky. You're just spamming. It's like, no, I'm shooting at a very, very high percentage chance area. Just incredibly. It's going to be like 70% plus to hit someone when this entire whole thing happens. And what people don't understand is as you're whittling this area down, they don't understand it. By the time they notice they're in this little hole, they're like, what the fuck are we doing? Why are we losing to this Junkrat? He hasn't done anything. And then they lose, and they go, oh, Chro, you got 0 medals. You did nothing. It's like, bitch, I put their entire team into a corner, and then I let my team finish them off. I don't care if I did 0 damage. My effect on their position, my fucking position that I value more than anything in the game, is key. I put my position up here, I put their position down here. I made it so they have to be 2 times as skilled as me. Even if I'm a shitty Junkrat, I'm better than them because I use fucking tactics. This is Junkrat, guys. This is what you have to do. When you do area denial, you have to think as an area. Yeah, I do it on every map and every single point. What do I do here? I shoot here to take this away from them. I jump here to take this away from them. Alright, so now they're here. What do I do then? I'm probably going to edge here, take it in here, or I'm going to flank them around because my team's pressuring them here, and they're going to get pushed back to here. By the time I get to this point, look at this. Look at this. they're going to be here in a line for my shot that's on a stairway. Again, I turned the map into a choke point where there is no choke point. You'll never fucking guess what I do here. I do the same goddamn thing here. Right? Stay back here. Right? I start taking this line. I start whittling down. What do I do at a certain point? There's like a point where I go, all right, I got to be here. And then I start taking this away from them. From here, they're pushed back even farther. What do you do if someone's flying on you? Yeah, this is a good point. What do you do? Because we're looking top down. What do you if we're looking side view, right? And I'm here, and the Pharaoh Mercy are up here. One, you can go to them. Because here's the thing. Everyone thinks flanks like this. If we look at the map, they believe a flank is this. I get over here. All right, I flanked them. Ah. All right, I got over here. I flanked them. Aha. The truth is, this is a flank. This is a vertical flank. You have two choices when you have a flank. Either crush the lower numbers with superior numbers. So if they flank with 2 here, you crush them with 4. If they have 2 here, crush them with 3. If you have a Pharaoh Mercy in your dick, it's tough to go against a 2-on-1. You need your team. This is when we start using team tactics. You need to stop treating this as something different, and it's just a flank. It's a different type of flank. More importantly, the higher the Pharaoh Mercy get, the more vulnerable they are to more attacks. So your job here is to survive. Now, where Pharaoh Mercy can attack me at, and where I'm the weakest, at every time I go from a point, I'll go to another point. It's this logistics that I talked about, right here. Remember I talked about attacking during the logistics phase? It's this point when I make this jump that I'm the weakest. And I go here, right? So up here, I'm cool with me being here. But as soon as I start moving to get to this position, this is when I can be killed. This is when I worry about Pharaoh Mercy the most. But yeah, this is Junkrat tactics. This is how you see a game as area instead of aiming at people, I aim at areas on the ground. And it fundamentally changes my tactics. Yeah, we got a little bit off track. But because he's in his logistics, yeah. And logistics with Junkrat is my mind gets put on cooldown. Franker Z, no, you must be on a different time zone. I'm America, so Friday is tomorrow. Well, I'll be doing my 24-hour stream in like 20 hours. Merely a gamer, you're correct. I'm vulnerable in my logistics phase. 100% correct. Oh, yeah, Bima, you found me a map of Ilios. Thank you. Chro, yes. You can do the same thing with Bastion. You can do the same thing with any class. It's a different way to look at the game. I look at area. I don't look at people. And that's why I say I have a 100% hit rate. I don't spam. And people are like, no, you don't have 100%. It's like, no. At first, I'm just trying to hit anything in this area. Pretty hard to miss, right? But yeah, you can do it with Bastion. You can do it with anything. This is how you slowly push. This is how you slowly take a point. This is tactics for all classes. Are you going to do a VOD tomorrow? Maybe. Do you think the Bastion changes are going to be doing the comp scene? I don't know. It can. It gives Bastion a better chance of being played. It makes him counter specific strategies. Wouldn't it be easier to be Pharah than Junk, though? No. Junk has nearly, I believe it's a 40% DPS advantage on Pharah. Also, Pharah's Concussive Blast doesn't deal damage. Remote Mine pushes people away and pushes me away and does 120 damage. I also value Junkrat's Trap highly. I also value shooting over Reinhardt's shield. Like, see, the problem with Pharah is that while she does attack here, it's linear. She'll hit Reinhardt's shield. I can attack over the shield with Junkrat. Also, when people are in this small little area, I can bank shot into it. I really value Junkrat's ricochets. I mean, Pharah's good, but she's not Junkrat. It's not linear if she's flying over him, but that's the problem. The higher Pharah gets, as she gets more and more into the sky, the more vulnerable she is to fire. And Junkrat doesn't have to do this. Junkrat can do what Pharah does in the air, but on the ground. Right? If Reinhardt shields here, Pharah has to expose herself to get that linear sight. The Junkrat, I don't. Not only that, as a Junkrat, I can go maybe even under. Right? I can't. It's a 2D surface, so I can't really like go left and right here. But yeah, you can get to him. What about Tracer? How does she take space? Tracer's a tough one if we want to talk about space. Essentially, you have... It's almost like she's on a timer. Right? If you blink in, have like 3 seconds to do damage. Or at least to assess the situation. At that point, you can either blink deeper in or deeper out. Right? You can get out. Tracer controls small spaces, but in very odd bursts, right? Up to her. She can go over here, burst, go over here, burst. She can do it a couple times, and then she's vulnerable. And she's good for a distraction. So what Tracer really, really, really excels at is what I call stirring the pot. And so if the defense is set up... Whoa, holy shit. I don't know how I did that. My bad, guys. So if the defense is set up in a very specific way, let's just say this is their formation for whatever advantage. For whatever reason, this is what they do. What Tracer's good at is just like either blinking in here, like through this, or blinking through here, and just fucking shit up. Hold on, I need red. Fucking shit up is red. And she messes stuff up. And all of a sudden... the support's back up. A tank comes over this way. Or maybe DPS deals with her. And now you have a structure that is not as strong as the defense wanted it to be at the first place, right? Instead of this awesome formation that they have, now they're over here and over here, right? These don't count. And now the team is a little bit more split, and that allows the 5 other people on my team take advantage of it. She's good at stirring the pot, right? Something happens, she just goes blah. Makes people react. Sometimes the reaction is a kill, right? Maybe she kills someone. Maybe she kills someone and then blinks in deeper. Or maybe she just recalls out. Right? It's up to her. It's her choice. She's very good at disrupting the enemy's formation. So she messes up their logistics, but in predictable ways. Essentially what she does is she forces... So, if we look at the other picture, the truth is, if you could stay at a superior position, you want to stay there. What Tracer does is forces you to redo your positioning. Essentially, she comes in and she says, "Hey guys, new information. Fix up the fucking chain. Do it all over again." She resets it. She goes, "Oh, look at me. I'm here. You didn't expect this. You can deal with me, but you have to deal with me, and the way you deal with me, whatever you choose, if you choose A or B, my team's going to take advantage of B, or my team's going to take advantage of A. Whatever your decision is, we're going to try to take advantage of it. And the best part is the more you make the enemy make decisions, the more chance they have of messing up. So it has she forces a high chance of failure on decision making. That's what she really does for the game. Genji does this too in a little bit of a different way. Thanks, Turtle5. Can Ana take position? With her attack, yeah. Well, she can't take position, but she can punish bad position or greedy positions. Ana's damage is no joke. She could fuck up a 200 hit point class real quick. Also, I mean, she's good at punishing Pharah, so yes, she can punish position, whatnot. You're a junk in your logistics. Is there a defensive maneuver you do, or do you just try to speed up your logistics? For me, as a junk in the logistical phase, it means I've used my remote mine to do something. And that puts me in a very, very bad spot. Essentially, I have to skill my way out of it at that point. If you get me before I get my positional advantage, and I used up my remote mine, all I have left is action. Can any of you explain what is a good position? A good position is, while being safe, still being able to essentially... Alright. It's a balance of competing demands. We'll just say POS. Piece of shit position. It's a balance of competing demands. Comp demands. The competing demands are greed versus safety. At all points in the game, I'm analyzing the information that is the enemy team and their position. If I can be greedy and I can shoot people here, then I will. Now, if they're posting up on me, well, then this is bad position because I can be killed. I need to be back here. Actually, I need to be farther back. I either need to be back here, or I give up this entire position completely, and I go over here. And I'm just like, listen, guys, I'm too greedy to even be in this room. Now my good positioning is here. Now, if these guys leave, they come back out here, then I get back to my good position. You need to be as greedy as possible while staying safe, is my definition of position. Easiest hero to get Grandmaster, in my opinion. Probably Hog. Hog or Zarya. The reason why I say Hog or Zarya is because most people are good at Overwatch. The problem is they're not good at Overwatch while being pressured. In most games, there's one or two classes that are pressuring your team. A Zarya can protect them defensively, a Roadhog can just grab them and kill them offensively. What this does, it takes the pressure off of your team and allows them to play Overwatch to the best of their abilities. Whatever you can do to make the game simpler for your team, that's good. But what if you know aim well? Practice. Here's the thing, as I may make this seem like Good at zooming in. This is essentially thought, or at least more thinking. Let's just say this is thinking, and this is doing. This means is if we do a Tai Chi diagram, yin yang, you guys think this is 80% of the game, and this is like 20%. By the way I draw my triangle, especially since action is based upon what's below it. But the truth is, it's 50-50. 50%, 50%. This is action, and this is everything else that we talk about. What this means is do not underestimate skill. A good person can skill their way out of bad position, misinformation, shitty logistics. You will find people that are so fucking good that they can whoop your ass no matter what. What this also means is that as much as we like to think in theory craft, shut the fuck up and do it. If you cannot do it in practice, it doesn't matter what you think. It's there to keep us humble. It's there to keep us honest. It's there to say, hey, you talk a lot of shit, do it. Diva's in a good place. Here's the funny thing with Diva is Junkrat doesn't care about armor, and this is more like pro Junkrat propaganda. Is I can hit Diva twice with no armor, she's meat to other classes, which is really cool. It puts Junkrat in this really niche spot where I can rip the armor off of classes and make them weaker to hit scans. Especially keynote shotguns. If you're against classes that are really well armored and you're like, I gotta kill. How do we defeat a heavily armored guy? Get in Junkrat or Pharah. Or Widow. Anyone that has high damage that doesn't care about armor, strip it off of them and then finish them with a hit scan. But Diva's in a good place. Zarya's in a great place. Zarya advice would just be support your team. Sometimes that requires you to Zarya ult and do damage, but also think about saving your team. Staying alive, keeping your team alive. Like I said, the best way to climb the ladder is letting your team to play Overwatch. If that requires you killing a person or saving them, do it. Did I see Kepri's Budget Chro video on YouTube? Yeah. He messaged me when he posted it. I'm humbled. I'm honestly humbled by Kepri and that he did that. But with that, guys, I gotta get to bed. It's getting pretty late. I hope I answered everyone's questions to the best of my ability. If you don't, if you're not happy with any of the answers I give you, please, I'm gonna be up 24 hours. We can talk about it. We're gonna have some fucking time. Yeah. If I missed your question, I apologize. Again, come back tomorrow. Hit me up on YouTube. YouTube is probably the best. If you have a question in one of my videos, ask it there. That only can get you your answer publicly, but it allows me to answer the question like with text, and I can think about it. I can write a good response, and I can do it at work too. But I will cut this right now, and I'll post this to YouTube. I'm gonna cut this into 2 sections, guys. I'm gonna cut this up as my review of the console player, and then I'm gonna cut up the after part where we talk about Junkrat and tactics and some other stuff and things like that. So,